Hurricane Irma continuing to spin toward Florida, and as we've told you, people there are preparing, making plans to evacuate, and some even just hunkering down. And
one city, of course, right in the storm's dangerous path is Miami. And Eyewitness News reporter Greg Argos is in that coastal city right now in the middle of the calm before the storm. And Greg, bring us up to date on the preps.
Yeah, that's exactly right there, guys. You just heard from Kate. She said, you know, it doesn't matter if it goes a little bit east or west. Miami and southern Florida is going to get hit by this massive hurricane. You might notice a difference from just 24 hours ago, and that is the wind. It is picking up a little bit, but we're still at least 24 hours from the strength of this thing hitting here. Now, we are on just off of Ocean Drive in Miami Beach. Normally, this section, like I showed you yesterday, would be packed full of bicyclists, those jogging. You see, it's pretty much empty right now. The big concern with this storm, though, is the storm surge and the wind. That is the ocean right there past that dune. They're talking about 5, 10, possibly 12 feet of storm surge. That is double my height. All of that water could potentially go over the dune, hit these businesses, and impact a lot of people. So everyone very concerned about Hurricane Irma. Irma inching closer, and those still in Miami increasing in worry.
We are filling sandbags to prevent the water from getting in the house, or at least slow it down.
Terrence Sedler just moved to southern Florida. He used to work in Philly, and along with dozens of others Friday, is scooping free sand while helping one another brace for Irma.
I always knew there were going to be hurricanes, but never expected one to hit right away, so my first one. Well, everybody helps each other out, and you look out for each other, and, you know, it's not every man for himself. People help people.
Supermarkets running out of food and water or closed altogether. Gas stations dry out of fuel. A chaotic scene at Miami International, while normally bustling neighborhoods eerily quiet. Those who are staying say they're ready to meet Irma face to face.
Basically, the whole of the southern Florida is going to get hit. So whether I went west to Sarasota or Fort Myers or down to downtown in Brickell, there's going to be surge, there's going to be flooding. So I figured I'd stay put. I'm on the 7th floor of my apartment and have impact-proof windows, so hopefully I'll just get a view, and at worst the power will go out, so I have to sweat it out.
And back here live, you can actually see Ocean Drive. This is a common sight right now, those plywood barriers, the sandbags and whatnot. I mentioned storm surge earlier, guys. Let's talk about wind. You just heard from Kate, possibly strengthening into a Cat 5 once again before hitting southern Florida. Well, the concern is these palm trees, they're everywhere. These can become missiles when they're hit by that fast wind. And so a lot of concern, people really barreling down. They're trying to hunker down, I should say, and hopefully those impact-resistant windows will work in some of these high-rise buildings. But right now, the storm's still about 24 hours from a direct hit here in the southern Florida area. A lot of concern right now with Hurricane Irma. Jess?
Yeah, and Greg, from your perspective, I know you guys are staying in a hotel. What are they telling people who are staying in these different hotels and motels throughout that area?
They're asking people to leave. In fact, Jess, tonight, or this morning, I should say, I witnessed an employee of the hotel going door to door, all of the registered guests, and telling them, are you staying here at this hotel? The hotel we're at is on Biscayne Bay, right off the water. We're actually moving tomorrow a little bit further inland because of the severity of this storm. They're asking people, they're telling them this is a mandatory evacuation zone. If there's trouble, we can't help you. And if they decide to stay, they're allowed to, but they're asking people to leave and go to different areas of the county and the state because of the severity of this storm, especially on the open water. Some of these hotels are just feet from the water, and with the flying debris and the 150+ mile-per-hour winds, who knows what could happen.
Hey, Greg, real quick before you go, what are you hearing about the schools that are being used for shelters? I would imagine many of them are probably getting full to capacity.
Yeah, the Red Cross and the county here in southern Florida, they're actually using those schools, like you mentioned, Yuki, as shelters. We have not stopped by those shelters yet, but I've seen social media pictures. They're packed already, which is actually a good thing because a lot of these low-lying areas, they flood very quickly. And so people are heeding those warnings and actually going to the shelters. Will Kenworthy, my photographer, and I, we're going to head to the shelters after the 6 o'clock newscast tonight and check out the scene there. But if you are in a low-lying area here in southern Florida, or if you have loved ones there in Philadelphia who live in low-lying areas, tell them, take what you can, take your pets, your precious belongings if you can, put them in a bag and get to those shelters.
Indeed, indeed. Greg Argos, Will Kenworthy, gentlemen, be safe. We'll get back to you. Thank you. Oh, so